Okay.
We're ready to go.
Alrighty, then I am too. So for today's web training, we will be picking up where we left off last time, and we will be covering, since we've covered the configuration aspect, the creation of opportunities and the managing of the volunteers for those opportunities. So as a quick reminder, we last time went to configurations and did a variety of configurations there. We also talked about orientations and trainings, and I do believe we got through designing the application forms. Um, so at this point, what we get to cover is our opportunities and the creation of opportunities for yourself and the managing of the volunteers. So at this point, I do want to point out that everything we are covering is the same techniques and tools and processes that your partners can use. So we are not covering anything except for one small piece, literally it's just one drop-down menu, that we won't be covering anything that your partners do not have. So just keep that in mind as we go through today, because I do know that training the trainer was, your phrase and one thing you're going for. So
Do,
just wanted to make sure that
do
was
we
clear.
have access to their opportunities, Eric?
You will
If
have
we get
access. You will have access to things that are posted to your Volunteer Action Center, correct? With varying levels of access depending on various settings, which we won't be covering today. You won't have direct access to their account, however. Um,
well, I guess what I was wondering, say I get a phone call from the Art Center of Jacksonville, and they want me to help them troubleshoot a volunteer opportunity that they have posted. You're
mhm.
telling me I would not have access to their specific opportunity then?
Depending on how it was created, you would under the Partner Opportunities screen. Otherwise, sometimes it can be best, and this is what I do, is just access it directly from their system by getting their login information. We'll cover that more, how to actually, what access you do and don't have when in the next training when we actually talk about partner organizations and managing them.
Okay,
Today, we're just going to be focused on the curation of opportunities and the management of opportunities from your perspective. Um,
got it.
so I'm
Thank
gonna I'm
you.
gonna keep us, yeah, no, still a great question, an important topic. We will cover it next time. Um, but for today's purposes, we're just going to be focusing on your opportunities and basically the screen as it would look to your partner. So if your partner wants you to step you through something, you're going to have the information presented as we're presenting it today. Yes. Um, so with that put aside, still a good question, like I said, let's go ahead and move forward on creating opportunities. There are two kinds of opportunities, basic and advanced. We will be talking about the differences between the two. We're going to start with a basic opportunity, which is going to give us all the pieces and tools that we're going to need, and then we'll talk about the differences for advanced opportunities, which just have more advanced options for scheduling. I was trying to get away from using the word advanced, but I couldn't. um, so let's create an opportunity. I've got one here, but let's create a fresh one. I always need new examples. So on this screen, you'll see all your opportunities active and inactive, and active being older ones. We'll get some of the details about it, which we'll play with in a little bit. We can edit and a couple other options, which we'll use either today or tomorrow. Excuse me, not tomorrow, but next time. And we can create new ones. We can also use quick add to create new ones, but I usually recommend just doing it from here. So when we need to create a new opportunity, either for yourself or for a partner, add basic opportunity and go ahead and give your opportunity a name. Now, this is basically, if you kind of think like a job listing, the name of what you need people to sign up for. So this could be something as something like, if it's for an event, it could be the name of the event. If this is more of an ongoing job position, I don't want to use the word position, but ongoing opportunity activity, then it'd be naming, whatever you need it to be. So if you were creating an opportunity specifically for the recruitment of site coordinators, you could call it, Handson Jacksonville Site Coordinators 2016, for example. Um, or it could be the Nonprofit Job Fair 2016, which is an example I had previously, or whatever you need it to be. Notice in both examples, though, I'm stating kind of a date range in the name, and I'll explain why I do that when we get to scheduling. So let's create an opportunity. Let's see, let's do something that's ongoing but not too long a time period. let's say an internship. That's a pretty specific type of volunteering. It could be more nebulous, but let's go with something more specific. So let's say Handson Jacksonville needs interns. So a bit more than a volunteer. They actually may get some, they actually get paid, and you know, we need interns. Well, that wouldn't be a volunteer activity, would it be? It would actually be a job. But anyway, let's use interns nonetheless. So we might call this HOJ interns internship 2016, for example. So opportunity name gives us a pretty good idea of what it is. On behalf of, this is that one drop down that your clients will, your partners will not have, lets you create on behalf of another one of your partners. So free agency here. I could be creating this opportunity on their behalf, and this could be one of those places where you're actually going to get a fair level of control later on. Oh, apparently once I set it, I can't clear it. Hold on, I don't actually want to do that. I'll have to look into that. I didn't realize that. Okay. So just something to keep in mind. HOJ internship 2016. Okay. Internship. There we go. So that's what the on behalf of option is. Opportunity owner is basically what user is responsible for this opportunity when communications are sent to the opportunity control coordinator, basically, who's going to get those emails. When you do on behalf of, you can either pick someone on your staff or on the staff, the user list of that organization. So that's a way, so basically you don't have to continue maintaining complete control over it. You can create and then pass it off back to the organization, which would probably be the ideal. Virtual opportunities? Yes.
Eric, sorry. When we're picking a person, are we picking just a volunteer at that point, or one of our users, or
User.
a volunteer coordinator?
User.
And if user.
It's explicitly a
That's
user.
internal to us.
Yes.
Okay, that's users are us. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Virtual opportunity. So on occasion, you'll have an opportunity where the person doesn't actually work from a physical location. And these are called virtual opportunities. So these are things like if this internship basically works from home, you know, maybe they come in once to get some paperwork now and again, but they're basically working from home. That would be a virtual opportunity. So people doing data entry for you, for example, virtual opportunity. I've yet to see anyone use it, but I've had a couple people express interest in it. So that's what that is. Next is the location. Where is this opportunity happening? For basic opportunities, we only get to put one location. For advanced, we're going to get to put multiple. But it's basically, this will help people find opportunities near them, so the zip code is very important. This is going to be, you know, let people know where they got to go. So if this were something like a job fair, which is my other example, this would be, you know, where is the job fair going to happen? If this is an internship where they come to your office, then you put the location of your office. So programs. Occasionally, you will have a opportunity that is linked to a specific program, such as your St. Nicholas program or one of the other ones, and this is where you can specify that linkage. So we talked about programs in the other training. I won't define them here, but this is where you can link the opportunity to a given program. So if this were, you know, be volunteer to be St. Nick or be a Santa's helper or something like that, I'm not sure what the jobs would be and positions and stuff that you'd need. You know, this is where you'd make the link to the program, allowing this opportunity to show on that program's page. And then positions. This is a way to break down an opportunity by different jobs. So a lot of times you'll just have one position called volunteer. It's the default. So this is just, we just need interns. There's no designation between different kinds of interns. But in other cases, you may have different kinds of interns. So I may have a front desk intern, and I may have a clerical intern,
Yes.
for example.
Sorry.
No worries. So this way I can have a single opportunity, but I can say that different people do different things. And with our advanced opportunities, we'll see how we can actually build different shifts for different people, different positions. You don't tend to see a lot of different positions on basics. opportunities, but advanced will definitely make use of that functionality. From there, we have scheduling. Now for your basic opportunities, this is very, well, basic. And we have two options, one time, so it's one day, and ongoing, which basically means you show up from between this time frame. So I might say, well, our internship starts, let's say, at the beginning of the month, and okay, this is the 2016 internship, so it's going to go for 1 year. Actually, let's do this. 2017, June, okay, May 7, 2017. So this is a 1-year internship, at which point the internship ends, and we'd put a new opportunity up for a new set of interns for the next year. May or may not be the same people. So this brings me to the topic of time frames for opportunities. It was a different hands-on organization, but they actually got in a little bit of, I don't want to say trouble, but it caused some problems where they had a partner who had an opportunity that was spanning something like 10 years and had 2,000 volunteers on it. So volunteers would go to sign up again, they'd be told they're already part of it, there'd be confusion as to what schedule people were on, and it became a real kind of mess, to be honest. So what I usually recommend is that an opportunity, even if it's the same opportunity, be broken into kind of discrete segments, manageable pieces, usually in like 1 year, or excuse me, 1 month, 1 quarter, or seasonal, or 1 year sections. So internship 2016. So you sign up, okay, in this case it would be 2016-17, but you get what I'm saying. This means that when the next year comes, I create a new opportunity, they reapply, or I add them, so on and so forth. And this key means that I have a nice clean list of the volunteers for 1 year versus another. I don't have a list after like 5 years of a lot of inactive volunteers, and so on and so forth. It keeps it nice and tidy and easy to manage. So that's my recommendation, is either 1 month, quarter, or season, or year. And there's a couple other benefits. It means that if you've changed your application form, if they have to reapply every year, then that makes sure that you get updated information. If there's new orientations, you can now enforce that they go to them, and so on and so forth. It's just good, my recommendation for keeping the information up to date, making sure you have an active, a clean, active volunteer list, and so forth. Okay, putting my ramble aside. So that's scheduling. You're basically saying the time frame that this opportunity happens within. Next, we create the shift. And with a basic opportunity, we only have one shift, something like default shift. And, I usually recommend changing it to something a bit more descriptive, like weekday, all day. And this is basically the time frame in which people will be showing up. So sure, they're showing up from this date to this date, but what's the actual time you expect your volunteers? So we can go ahead and say we expect them to be here at 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. So 4-hour shift. Or if it's a more nebulous timing, time is flexible, which with ongoing is really good configuration for people just show up when they show up. So if you had a volunteer opportunity where people would show up, pick up flyers and hand them out around town, that's a real example, you would do ongoing for like a week or so, and time is flexible. They basically work on their own schedule, and you're not dictating when they're doing the job. And then last on this page, the details. These go online. This is basically the job description. This is where you can kind of speak about the opportunity, what it is, why you need people for the opportunity, why it matters, and kind of your sales pitch. Kind of think of it like a donation page. Tell your story, connect to the person. Any questions on this page?
I have one quick one on your location.
Mm-hmm.
Does the location address provide a map? I've seen when I viewed
Yes.
one of your videos. Okay.
Yeah. So, and here's an example. This will actually show online. Oops, I should put the postal code, 94928.
Very nice. I have a question for you that's coming up because of our CEO speaking in public. This is just in general, and it might not be you to answer it, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
But when you said searching by zip code, okay,
Mm-hmm.
does that go within just our database? Does that go to the other HON databases? that belong to Fundly, or is it just ours? And then just asking that question.
So you mean that, so if I put an opportunity online with a certain zip code, will it show on only your page, or would it show on other pages? Is that what you're asking?
If we did a 32202, okay, would just the things that were on our site and hosted through our Fundly account, be it partners or ours, show, or is somebody from another area going to show too if they happen to post an opportunity in 32202?
Oh, I get what
Or
you're
they're
saying.
around.
It is independent of the zip code. So it's based on what account it's posted through. So if you had, so your partners will post through your account, you will post through your account, i.e. only your partners and you will show on your page, irregardless of what zip code you do. So even if another hands-on organization, or even any organization not directly affiliated and has partnered with you, posted on their page a zip code that happened to be in the same area as you, it would not show on your page unless, as I implied, they were partnered with you and actually posted it explicitly to your page like your partners would. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure if that made sense.
Yes,
I hope that
that was
made sense.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Now that said, there is a reverse of that you should be aware of, and I think we've covered it before. Every opportunity that you publish to your public portal will be available on connect.fundly.com. So not just your public portal, but not so connect.fundly.com does become a central repository for everybody's opportunities. So I could go to connect.fundly.com, have never heard of you before, and search for something, an opportunity that happened to match one of yours, and I would find it without actually having ever seen your public portal, which is kind of a good thing
And
in the
when
end. But
you signed up for it, though, it would send you to our portal.
it would send, yeah, you would have all my information. It would take me to your portal, correct? So that's where it's a good thing. It might bring you volunteers you would not normally have known about. Like, I don't know what hands-on organizations are near me if I didn't actually happen to work here. So if I was to go on fundlyconnect.com and search for an opportunity and find you that way, it's a volunteer you would have not normally had. So just wanted to make sure you knew about that other side, because it's kind of the other side of your question. And it was a little different than the question you asked, the answer I gave you for your question. Anyway.
Okay.
Alrighty, so with this page out of the way, we go to the Requirements tab. So Save and Next. So we basically said some of the basics about our opportunity, though a bit more long-winded than you normally would spend on that page. And now we're going to talk about search tags and settings. So we're going to start with search tags and give definitions for all of them, as I promised you last time. And then we're going to go through the settings and some of the various configuration options. So let us start with search tags. Well, first off, you can always make your own and add them in. Otherwise, it's going to pull search tags from here. So these search tags were the ones that we got to create during configuration. Causes are the bigger picture. So this internship would look at, what is the bigger picture that this internship addresses? Well, okay, civics and community, let's say, because being hands-on, that's kind of your thing, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. You're looking at the bigger picture of the civics and community and supporting other nonprofits. So I'm going to go with civics and community. So by being an intern with you, I am supporting that bigger picture. If I was an organization that did stuff with animals, my cause would be, where is it? I don't have animals. I thought I did. But anyway, it'd be, oh, there it is, animals would be the bigger picture. This usually corresponds to the bigger picture that your nonprofit addresses. So, causes, activity type is what are you doing in support of the bigger picture? So, for example, where is it? I have one. I thought I had a clerical one here. Admin and clerical. Administration, support, and clerical. That's what you're doing as an intern in support of the bigger picture. And then skills. What skills might you need to do this job? And so what this means is if I am looking, maybe I'm an admin assistant, I'm retired or something. Ignore that this is an internship, but for a moment. But let's say I'm a retired admin assistant. I kind of want to do something to continue helping. I might search for what opportunities are there that use the administrative and clerical skill, and now this opportunity would come up. So this is a way to say what skills, might a volunteer need or are we looking for in support of the activity, in support of the greater picture, the greater cause. So that's how these kind of all tie
Eric,
together. Yes.
Eric, if you only select civic and community, does that restrict a volunteer searching for an opportunity to have to select civic and community? So
No.
where I'm leading to this is maybe if there would be 4 or 5 causes that could be selected, it would make it more of a broad search opportunity for a volunteer to get a hit on seeing that opportunity.
I see what you're getting at. So it's kind of a yes. It depends on the search they run. If I run a search for skills and I don't specify the cause, or if I just don't, I search for something else other than cause, and it would still come up, even if I don't specify that I'm looking for civics and community. However, if I specify that I'm looking for animals as my cause, and this opportunity is set for civics and community, this would not come up because I'm explicitly asking for animals, which this does not have. But if I
And
didn't,
can you not multiple select in causes or not?
you can.
Yeah, check all or uncheck all. Can you multiple select so you could select animals and community and
Correct.
health and wellness?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Correct. Yeah. Same with skills, although activity type is a single selection.
Okay.
No.
No, that was good. That's what he was really asking.
Okay.
He's trying to make sure that we don't eliminate.